What's up, guys? It's Lord Saint, and today we have an import haul. Now, you're probably looking and you see foliage, and you see a box that's clearly already been opened. A little backstory. This plant came in yesterday. It actually went straight to USDA. I guess things changed a little bit since my last import. So I actually went down and picked it up from the USDA office myself. Now, I don't know about you, but I tend to get impatient with plant mail. And it's been so hot in South Florida, I wasn't about to have this package go through another round of delivery or shipping, regardless of how close the Department of Agriculture's office is to me. So I decided I was going to go and pick it up. Quick trip down to Miami, went and picked it up. And I started this unboxing earlier. I did, maybe 2 hours earlier, and it was so hot out here that the heat fried my memory card. It overheated my camera, and I lost the footage that I recorded earlier. So, got to do it again. Obviously, the plants have been soaking, and let's see what we have. If you can see it from here, you can see my face. Normally, I'm exuding positive energy on these unboxings. Excited, right? Because I don't know what I'm going to go into. But this one, I kind of know what I have. And one main plant in particular, I'm not too happy with. I'm not happy at all with it. It's one of the main ones that I really wanted to arrive well. This is probably the main reason for this order was this plant. And I'm just not happy with it. So we'll see. We'll follow up and we'll see what happens, right, when I contact the seller. It's the same seller I've been using, by the way. I'm just going to list off the plants that were to arrive in this import. All right, I had 10 Pap X Ones. I had 1 Dark Phoenix, 1 Anthurium Goliath, and 1 BVIT. You heard that correctly, BVIT. It's black velvet Indo type. So it's the Indo type or Indo version of black velvet Easter Panama. So here's what I have. They've been soaking. I normally soak for, an hour or so. And then I move it all into its mix. In this case, I'm a little concerned with a few of them. The roots were not. And I've got some foliage. I don't know if maybe it was the heat or maybe something different was done with the packaging. But this import's making me a little nervous. I don't know if this is number 3 or number 4? Maybe it's number 3. I believe it might be number 3. And this has been my most expensive haul, which kind of makes me even more nervous because I spent a decent amount. It's up to your perspective, but I spent a good amount, and I don't know what I'll be left with. So I will pull these out. It's actually easier this way. I don't have to tear through any packaging. I can just list these as we go. And I guess because it's the largest one in the room here, we'll start with the Dark Phoenix. I'm including another camera, a side camera, so you guys can see better angle. You can see the foliage up close, right? So let's start with, right? That's what I thought when I pulled this out. This is the Dark Phoenix, and despite the foliage being, I'd say, absolutely ruined, and the only thing that I can attribute this to is possibly heat. I don't even think the plant was in the mail all that long, and it only makes sense, judging by the look of this foliage. It looks like melted foliage. It reminds me of when I had my greenhouse and I didn't install an exhaust fan yet, and the heat hit the plants and foliage just started almost crinkling and melting. That's what this looks like. And this had 4 leaves on it, 1 definite ruin, another definite ruin from, looks like, heat damage, another definite. This looks like somebody put a Dorito bag in a microwave. If you've never done that, don't do it, but check it out, maybe on the internet. This is what it looks like. And then the one viable full leaf here has the top portion that's kind of damaged, but at least it leaves me the rest, and the roots look really good. And I'll put it over here. You see what that looks like. The roots look really good on this. So I'm not too concerned with this one. I know this one will bounce back. I can get it right into a nice Anthurium mix, and it'll be fine. I'm not too concerned. Even though it's got foliage with extensive heat damage, I can bring this one back. And I'm sure it'll be better. It'll be back, and it'll be better. I'm back, and I'm better. So that's what we start with our Phoenix. Let's see. The next one we have here, and I'll do the ones that I'm, I guess, most happy with, or that I know that I can bring back. And this one is the Anthurium BVIT, and this is the Indo type, Black Velvet Indo type. Again, we have the same, I don't know if it's heat damage to the foliage. One leaf looks like it can be fine, but the other one, definitely, I'm probably going to just chop it and let all the energy, or let this one leaf just consume all the energy, and the plant can focus on pushing out a new leaf, but the roots look fine. I'm happy with this one. And you can see it there. That's the crinkled leaf, and then we have the leaf that should be okay, but eventually will probably not survive, potentially, but the roots look good, and everything else looks good on the plant. I can bring this one back. I'm good with this one. I'm good with it. Maybe not for the price, but it is what it is. You can bring it back. I'm fine with it. And let's see here. I do want to show you guys. I won't save it for last. I'm going to do it now, because if I save it for last, I'm afraid I may just like cry or something. I don't know. No, I won't cry. But yeah, you're looking at this. Just oh my gosh, right? This is gone. The foliage is gone. I can hope that maybe with some hydration, maybe I can plop this into maybe a heavy perlite mix, and maybe some of this will come back. I pray that some of this will come back. This is actually the one I was most excited for. This was the reason for the import. Just this one plant. And I kind of cycled through a few because they kept selling so quickly. So finally got my hands on one, and I was happy with the selection when I saw the image. Now, when this came for the price I paid, I'm not happy. I'm not happy. I'm not happy with the status that it's in. I don't know if I'll be able to bring this one back. I'm not happy with the size either. It looked much bigger in pictures. So to me, I kind of have a problem with this one, and my seller thinking that this was a good deal. Like I said, this was a Goliath. I'm kind of obsessed with the foliage of the Anthurium Goliath. I thought he understood that, but you shouldn't be shipping a plant like this for the price that this shouldn't have been sent. This plant wasn't prepared to go overseas from Indonesia to the U.S., in my opinion, of course. And I'll show it to you guys here so you can get a better look. The foliage is done on this, in my opinion. The roots are minimal, if any. And I've got to say a prayer that I can bring this one back, but I've already sent pictures. I'm contacting the seller in regards to that. We'll see. You know, I'm a simple guy. I'm not, things happen, but sometimes you have to reward loyalty. And if your product came this way, then we'll see what the seller does. Like I said, this might be the third or fourth time I've done imports, and it won't, could be the last, but maybe it won't be the last, depending on how the Goliath is resolved. Because this was supposed to be my main baby in all of this. And even if this was healthy, I would not be happy with the size of this plant for what I paid for it. So that's okay, though. Lord Saint, maybe I can bring it back, right? Who knows? Now, remember I said I got 10 Pap X Ones. The goal was I was going to keep 2 of them. I was going to keep 2, and then I was going to use the 8 others for swaps and sale. Everywhere I looked here, they're still rather expensive. So my plan was to get them acclimated and then put 8 of them on the market for either just really good bomb trades or obviously sale. And that's still the goal. So again, soon, hopefully, once they get acclimated, maybe I'll have some Pap X Ones for sale. So stay tuned for that. The roots on these were 50-50, right? Some of them came and they were just like, ugh, struggle. But I don't think there's any of the Pap X ones that I won't be able to bring back, that won't be able to just latch on and enjoy the IKEA greenhouse cabinet that that I have, or one of them, and just come back with a vengeance. I think they'll all make a comeback. Some of them were a little concerning, but nothing as bad as the Goliath, in my opinion. So for the most part, and I'll show you here, I'm happy with the X1s. Like I said, there are 10 of them. The plan is to keep 2 and then get rid of the other 8. So everybody can enjoy them. And you can see the root system there. I'll pull these out one by one. And if you can see from the camera up front, and then I'll show you in this bottom one, these are deep. These are fine. I'll be able to make this work for sure. And you can see roots there. Probably looks nice against my skin. Foliage on these, decent. Not going to be a problem. I don't see an issue with these bouncing back. Like I said, there wasn't one. I think that was just so far gone. Kind of like how I feel about the Goliath, that I didn't experience one in this batch, and I have 10 of them. So for the most part, I'm happy with overall. Let's say I'm not as happy as my previous ones. Right, this one came a little different, or this import was just. I was expecting a lot. I guess more. I expected better condition, but this happens. This is part of the process. It happens. What's important is your roots, right? If the root system is intact, then you can always grow new foliage. And the plant may just give you something just better than what would have came anyway. And you tend to lose foliage anyways when you get these imports. In the acclimation process, it's not uncommon for the plant to just drop foliage as it figures out if it likes the new space, especially when what your grow setting is completely different than the setting it was in on the other side of the world. So you have to have the expectation that you're going to lose foliage. I'm never too concerned with foliage. Roots are my main concern. And then obviously there's the quality of the plant for the price you paid for it. If the photos did it justice or not, that's important. But for the most part, the Pap X ones, they came rather happy, which kind of throws me off about the Goliath. That leads me to believe maybe the Goliath and the price that I paid for the Goliath. I don't know, and not every plant is the same. Goliath may just have been a more sensitive plant, but I think I'm just salty about it because I wanted that one to be the one so badly, and now I'm in a predicament where I don't know if I'll be getting another one, or when I'll be getting another one, or if this one will even make it. Again, here's what it looks like. It's in pretty rough shape foliage-wise, but maybe I can save it. I don't know. But this one, I'm not a complainer. I'm not that guy that goes to the restaurant and says, my food is terrible, take it back now. That's why I have my wife. She's my voice. I'm not big on the confrontation. I may find a very pleasant way to tell you I'm not happy with the product or service, but it'll always be rather pleasant. So I'm sure we'll get this one figured out. I'm sure it'll all work out. It's just a bummer because I really wanted the Goliath to be the star of this. But like I said, I do have the BVIT and the Dark Phoenix that came with phenomenal roots, in my opinion, and that I think will be fine. So that's the haul. As you can see there, I got a nice batch of Pap X ones. Definitely good on a BVIT and a Dark Phoenix, and we'll see what happens with the Goliath. If I'll be getting another one, or if this one survives, or who knows. That will be to be continued. Now, as far as the previous imports, if you follow, or if you currently follow me on Instagram, you should see that I am posting the photos of those Anthuriums as I go, and they look phenomenal. They're all acclimating pretty well. There's maybe 2 that are still like, I'm going to do that again. There are 2 that are, But still, they're not dead. The roots are growing. It's just the foliage is doing the funky dance. I've just currently repotted two into an even chunkier Anthurium mix in hopes that maybe that resolves it. I don't know if it's because we've been getting so much rain. Maybe I had components that were just a little not chunky enough, not enough airflow between them. So I've repotted two of those in hopes that those will bounce back. They're not dead. They're not, let's say, declining per se, but all new foliage is kind of... So we'll see what happens with those, but I'll start posting those, or I'll just do a video kind of reintroducing where they're at currently. That's what I have today. Again, this is from the same seller that I ordered from last time. So I will contact him based on this one. I'm kind of iffy. I don't know if I don't think I'll ever purchase and import this late in summer again. Maybe that's what it was. Like I said, South Florida, the heat waves have been ridiculous, but this plant hasn't been in the mail for long. It actually arrived yesterday, and USDA had it immediately. It's been in their office overnight. Obviously, they checked it out this morning, they inspected it, and I was there to pick it up early this afternoon. So not too long, but it could be just in the travels from Indonesia to here that it was way too hot out. So maybe you should stray away from any imports during the blazing season, or if you live in South Florida, because it's just been absolutely ridiculous out here. Absolutely. I had to add additional shade fabric on my Anthurium section in the shade house because it's just blazing out here. Anthuriums aren't happy with it. They do like a little cooler. I think they love it like in the 70s. I think they thoroughly enjoyed it in the 70s. They can handle the water. It's just the heat. It almost melts the foliage. I've had inflows that have come up and just drooped. So I'm heavy on the sound effects today. But that's all I have for you guys today. It's my Indo import. Don't let the face fool you. I'm ecstatic about this. I'm really happy with this. It's just that Goliath. So pray for me. Let's pray that Lord Saint gets his hands on another Goliath. This one makes it. It's just the best underdog success story ever. They'll make a movie about me. No, they won't. But as always, thank you for joining me. This Lord Saint with another unboxing. If you enjoyed this video, or if you're enjoying the channel in general, please feel free to like, share, subscribe. I appreciate the support I've gotten thus far. Everybody that's come from Instagram over to YouTube, or the people that find me on YouTube, head back over to Instagram or TikTok. I appreciate you. The pages are growing. I'm happy to chat it up with you guys in the DMs. And I appreciate all the love and support you guys are giving me. I'm working out some new stuff. You see this nice little camera or microphone setup that I have here. I'm shooting 4K now on the camera, which I'm playing with a few settings to try to get this clarity right for YouTube. So we're growing. We're growing on all aspects. If you haven't seen on Instagram, since we're on the topic of Anthuriums, I have been posting. I do have, I made a successful cross, Anthurium mag times or cross with Regal, and those are doing phenomenally well. I still have inventory for that, and I blew out the pricings. The seedlings are only $15 each. Shipping in the U.S. is $10 flat rate, 3 to 4 day shipping, depending on how far you live from Florida. And they're doing well. So if you're interested in that, just slide in my DMs or hop in the comment section. I'll tell you how to contact me, and you can get your hands on one yourself. The seedlings are healthy. The feedback I got with packaging is great, so don't worry about it being summer. The seedlings have been arriving just fine in the priority shipments. So if you're interested in that, just check me out on Instagram at @LordSaint_. If not, please continue to support. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a good night.